Find the equation of the tangent line for the function f of x equals 1 over x at the point -3 comma -1/3. Okay, so of course we know that if you plug in the -3 in here, right, then plug the -3 in here, of course that's why we get -1/3. So that's the point that's on this graph. Okay, so we don't need to sketch it out, but we'll just do a rough little sketch here, right? 1 over x is a rational function, looks a little bit like this. Okay, not drawn exactly to scale, right? But our point is going to be somewhere over here. Okay, just eyeballing it, and we want to get the equation of this tangent line, okay, that will touch the graph right at that point. Okay, so what is the method? Okay, well, the only method that we've learned so far is taking the limit as h approaches 0, okay, of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Okay, so in this case we have the point here, we're -3. So we'll do f of -3 plus h minus f of -3 all over h. Okay. Now you notice this is just a number, right? F of -3, yeah, that's just -1/3. So we'll plug this in here. Okay, f of -3 plus h, well, that's just 1 over. So instead of putting x here, we're going to put this guy, right? So -3 plus h minus -1/3. So I'll just go ahead and change that sign to a +1/3. And then all of that divided by h. Okay, so how are we going to deal with this? Well, this is what we call a complex fraction, I'm sorry. Right? Because we have a fraction, we have a fraction within fraction. So let's just do this part first. Okay, so let's just do this part. I have 1 over -3 plus h plus 1/3. And in order to combine these fractions, we need the LCD, right? In this case, the LCD is 3 times -3 plus h. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by 3. Okay, that gives us what we need here. And then I'm going to multiply this fraction by the -3 plus h, right? So -3 plus h and -3 plus h. Notice what happens here. Okay, well, we get this denominator, which is what we want, right? The 3 times -3 plus h. But what do we get at the numerator? We get 3 plus -3, right? Plus h. So the 3's cancel out. We are just left with an h here. So if you go back here, this becomes h over 3 times -3 plus h, and all of that divided by this h down here. Okay, well, wait a minute. The whole point of doing this was, we don't want to divide by h, right? That's essentially what we're doing. We're dividing by h. So yeah, I don't want to divide by h. What I want to do is I want to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so times 1 over h. The h's do end up canceling out. So final answer here, what do we get? We get 1 over 3 times -3 plus h. But wait a minute, what happens as h goes to 0? When h is equal to 0, we get -1 over 9. Right, so what does that mean? It means the slope of this line here, right? At this point, the slope is -1 over 9. Okay? But we want to find the equation of that line, right? So we'll use the point slope formula, y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1 here. So we know the point and we know the slope. We'll just plug these guys in, right? Y plus 1/3 equals -1 over 9, x plus 3. I'll just go ahead and change those signs. Okay, I'm running out of space here, but y plus 1/3 equals -1 over 9x minus 1/3 here. And I'm going to subtract that 1/3 over. So y is going to equal -1 over 9x minus 2/3. And that should be the equation of the tangent line here.